Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Grim Podcast. Today, Lord of Salt, we are talking about WWE 2K26. It's out now already, and the reviews are out. And people are actually pretty miffed. And I say miffed because they're not nearly as angry as they should be about this, and honestly, they asked for it at this point. The greed has finally pushed people, the casuals, too far, and they're upset at the sheer amount, the volume of content, because they've made yet another pay-to-unlock feature in 2K26. If my faction wasn't bad enough with the microtransactions, if the island wasn't bad enough locking all the content behind it, there is another mode now. The Ringside Pass. Apparently it's similar to Fortnite's Battle Pass. I have no idea what that is. But, yes, even more content that used to be available in the game normally, in previous iterations, is now locked behind this Ringside Pass and can be gradually unlocked as the player grinds for XP, which apparently takes a very, very long time. People had made a shortcut, and the devs made sure to patch it out so that they can't do the shortcut anymore. And they either unlock it the long way or they have to pay for it. And some people have done the math already based on what they've said they're going to release, and apparently, clearing all the battle or the ringside passes without grinding for them is going to cost upwards of $1,000. That's finally the straw that broke the camel's back. To which I say I'm not surprised at all. I already decided not to buy this game. Certainly not at full price. What I would say, parameters for my purchasing it probably would be, A, it's on sale, and B, there's a way to unlock all the content, right? I do not like content that is permanently locked behind paywalls. I don't like content behind this grind wall, and I didn't like it when they started doing it with my faction back in the day with the Persona card bullshit, and I really don't like it now with when they added the island, and I was like, nah, I was already done by then. My faction had already pissed me off so much trying to unlock these alternate characters and alternate costumes, content that as a wrestling fan I wanted to have access to but couldn't. Because I had to grind a mode I just hated playing. I understand what they're going for with these card game mechanics. I was a Magic the Gathering fan when I was a kid. I collected Yu-Gi-Oh! As well. So I get the, trying to tap into that, what do they call it, the dopamine fix or whatever you get when you're opening booster packs of cards, right? Because I used to get that feeling. I got hooked on the paper crack back in the day, right? Cardboard crack, whatever you want to call it. But it doesn't appeal to me in a digital form as much. It just doesn't. I don't get that. Ooh, can't wait for another booster. Ooh, what do you go? No, that's especially when you have to pay for it. No, fuck that. I'm all over done that. It doesn't give me that fix, and I don't want it in my game. I don't want to have to use it to unlock it. It wasn't a big deal when there was no content locked to it, right? Then I didn't care. It's just, some people want to play. They want to do it like a challenge mode sort of deal, or they get that dopamine, or they're farming it for content, whatever. That's fine. It's not hurting anything. Until they started locking content to it. And then it's like, well, now I have to deal with it, and I hate it, and I still hate it. I hate it every second I mess with it in 2K25. And there's no way I'm not playing any more games with this mode in there. I'm not. Certainly not pre-ordering, not paying full price. I don't care. I don't care what they're bringing with it. I don't care if it's the Undertaker career mode, and it's the most in-depth they've ever done, right? in whatever they do for their next game. It doesn't matter. I don't care. I'm not playing it anymore. And I've even looked for ways, even the fans are doing it now too. They're just as bad because the only way to break the game and to gain access to this content that is locked in these modes, the people that have done it, they haven't published it publicly on the internet. They want you to join their Patreon. So you have to pay them. You have to pay the hackers to break the game for you, so you can access the content of the game you've already paid over $100 on. And you just want to play as fucking the DX classic DX costumes with Shawn Michaels and Triple H or some shit, right? It's bullshit. It's bullshit of the highest degree, and I hate it so much. I hate it. There's so much locked content for me still in 2K25 because it's all locked in my faction mode bullshit. And this is why I will not buy any more games until there's a way publicly available to break these games. I'm not playing any more 2K. That's it. I'm not buying any more new ones. I don't care if it's on sale. I don't care if it's free. I'm not playing this game until I can access what's in it. Right? Until the hackers stop charging me for the bullshit. I'm just not doing it. Give me away unlimited VC something. so I can just fucking unlock this stuff without having to fuck around with this dumb, horrible mode. All right, the greed is too much. It's too much. It's over $100. The base game's $70, right? No matter what. If you want to unlock, it's literally, some of the editions are like 2 costumes. The fucking, oh god, which is it? Was it the game? The Triple H one? Was it the Attitude Era one? Has like 2 fucking costumes in it. Just one for Triple H and one for Stephanie. Whoop-de-friggin' do. An extra $30 for fucking 2 fucking outfits for the least popular characters in the whole fucking industry. Fuck that shit, man. And the roster's terrible this time around. It is. They've got some nice versions of characters, right? If you're a CM Punk fan, this one's right up there for you, 2K26, because you've got every version of Punk. But and they do have different versions of characters. There's a good selection, except we lost a lot on the roster side of things. We lost legends, we lost wrestlers. Anderson and Gallows are gone, of course. Braun Strowman's gone. Obvious things like that. And then even less obvious things like they dropped a bunch of legends. Bruno Sammartino's gone. The Harley Race is gone. We finally got a Golden Age characters. Peter Maivia, High Chief Peter Maivia was in one wrestling game ever. In the entirety of history, he was in 2K25, and they took him right the fuck out. And along with a couple other Bloodline members. Well, I say Bloodline. A couple other Inoue family members of the Samoans, But most of them are still there, but it's the mere fact that they would bother taking any ass. Like, what the hell's wrong with you? Why would you? Why would you even? And yeah, Goldberg and Lesnar are both back, but fuck the rest. It's we lost so much content-wise. Yeah, you get the Inferno match, you got thumbtacks, you got ragdoll physics, and you can stack tables again. A lot of mechanics that used to be in there are finally being brought back. Congrats. Little bits here and there. If all you care about is that, if all you care about is the current roster, you just want Joe Hendry on there, and you want your updated guys. You got that. If you got 101 flavors of CM Punk, you got that. But objectively, the roster's awful. We've lost so much, and with everything being locked behind paywalls, fuck that. Fuck that. And you guys asked for this because you tolerated it. You did it. You farmed these bullshit modes. You farmed the island, and you farmed my faction all for content, for low IQ, low hanging fruit content for the knuckle draggers out there, for the little kiddies that are going to give you the clicks and the watch time and the ad revenue. You made your little e-bucks off it, whatever the fuck. You got all your e-begging out, and we got another really shit game, like unbelievably garbage, greedy corporate bullshit. You did this to us. You did this to all of us. We now have to wait. Those of us that can't afford it now, there's a fucking pay gap to be able to enjoy modern wrestling games. This is what you gave us. Thanks for this, guys. Thanks a whole lot to every motherfucking content farming bullshit wrestling channel, fake fan garbage out there that dumped us with this burning dumpster fire of a franchise. You subjected us to this because you did it. Because you've been paying, because you've been tolerating it. And I stretched it out as far as I could, and I've been bitching and moaning, and nobody's listening, and who cares? But hey, that just means less I gotta worry about. It's so nice. One point I'll give it. It's nice not to have it on my mind. Normally, a new wrestling game come out, I'd be all anxious about it. I'd be watching videos like, oh, why can't I do this? I wish I could do that. Nothing. I feel nothing. It doesn't bother me one bit because I didn't want it in the first place. The more I heard about it, the less I wanted it. And now that it's out and everybody's getting bent over, not me, not this time. I did that one more time for them. They suckered me in 2K25 just because of the Bloodline mode and all the legends we got because of that. More legends than we've gotten in a long, long time in that game. And I was thankful for that, and I accepted that even though they fucked it over in other ways. I was glad the island wasn't in the PC version. I don't know if it is. I assume it is now. It had something to do with having the last gen version as the PC version. I don't think that's the case with 2K26 anymore, which should mean that the creation community members that were console only the PC crowd should have access to them again. They were the best content creators for character creations and things like that. Create a wrestler, all that. Create an arena. So the PC fans should have access to that again, and they got 200 slots now, which is finally, after decades of 100 slots, we got 200. I could create 1,000 wrestlers for WWF Attitude 20 years ago. But, now we can create 200. I don't even care. I don't. So yeah, it's at least a load off of me. I'm broke anyway, so I can't afford anything, and it's just not something that's bothering me. I've got more than enough wrestling to play and enjoy, and that's where I'm at. And just for some extra here, I guess I'll talk about the. I read up a little. I tried to watch Elimination Chamber when it was on. Because I have a Disney Plus Hulu subscription, so it lists ESPN with those channels now, and they had the Elimination Chamber preview on it. So I thought, hey, I'll watch Elimination Chamber if it's there. If I got to watch with ads, oh well. No, I couldn't. I could watch the countdown, but I couldn't watch the show itself. I guess you have to pay for an ESPN account to watch it with ads in the U.S., so fuck that. And I don't have a Netflix account, so I can't do the... Not that I could get it to work anyway. I'd have to watch it on my computer, which would suck. I don't want to sit for 3 hours in a PC chair watching wrestling. I don't want to do that. So, yeah, I wasn't going to watch Elimination Chamber, which I didn't miss anything apparently anyway. From what I hear, 4 matches, pretty much all of them sucked. So, now this is again, I mean, opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one, right? Yeah, just reading it, I'd have been upset if I'd watched it. There was only 4 matches. I know the 2 of them are gimmick matches, and it's Elimination Chamber, so they're longer matches. But Jesus Christ, man, for paying so much money for 4 matches, I'd be livid. In fact, I was livid last time I got a Netflix subscription and tried to watch Raw. What a waste of time that was. I'll never do it again. I don't think they're saving the WWE right now. I don't. They've sold out too far and too long. And I think it's kind of an inevitability, not even really so much of its business model or of who's in charge. I think it's an after effect of going public. Any company that goes public is just a matter of time, because the thing is, once you put ownership of the company in the hands of investors, you kill the company inevitably, because investors don't know how to run a business. All they know is how to minimize how much money you put in to try and maximize how much you're getting out of it. The bottom line is all they're doing. To copy Stone Cold there, it's all about the bottom line. So, and inevitably all the companies go under because they just keep making cuts, making more and more cuts. And they haven't done that with WWE, but we've seen what the other problem of corporate overloads is, which is it's in the hands of sponsors now and investors and TKO, who doesn't know the first thing about wrestling. So there's ads everywhere, ads all over the ring, wrestlers coming out in gear specifically to publish sponsors. And it's not even like, oh, well, they've got, a thing on their shorts like UFC fighters do. No, it's they got... The last time we saw, the Viking War Party, right? War Raiders, whatever they called them, came out in little like Minecraft Viking suits. That was awful, and that was their last match. They lost to New Day, lost their titles, and got fired. Good times. Karrion Kross is gone. He's not going to be in the new game. So, and it's there's no saving this product. I think you've got only 4 matches on a card. You've got the same guys doing the same stuff over and over and over again, and it's not exciting anymore. The whole Masked Man Seth Rollins thing, didn't care. Not in the slightest. Some people are playing it up like it's the best thing, the best angle we've gotten in a while. Seth Rollins has been doing this shit for ages, Like nobody saw this coming? Fucking seriously? He just left. He wasn't even out for long, He just got out, and he's right back, and he never really left. So... they fucked this whole faction thing over, and now they don't know what to do with it because Braun Breaker's injured now too. They don't know what they're doing. They're pulling it out of their ass as they go, and they don't have enough time to spend actually showcasing wrestlers and their talent and working angles in the ring. It's just the same handful of guys over and over again doing the same stuff over and over again, and I don't care anymore. I don't blame anybody else for not caring either. It's old. It's stale. Guys like LA Knight should be headlining by now, okay? Guys like CM Punk and Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, these guys should be on Legends contracts, okay? They should be wrestling part-time, like pay-per-views only. No title reigns, just coming in to provide people with dream matches and help put new guys over or whatever. They should not be out there doing title reigns and soaking up the spotlight all the time and keeping that glass ceiling so the actual talent can't get over, right? That's the whole takeaway from Elimination Chamber. It's the same old guys. Even with Randy Orton, it's the same old stuff, right? Orton should have been headlining for a long time, but now he's already past his prime. Guy's looking chunky out there. he's breathing heavy. The gut's getting out there. It's he's not the same Viper he used to be, and it's time to hang up the boots. He is one of their best guys, and if they can use him, they should use him. But it's, again, you've got guys like LA Knight and Gunther and all these other, and goddamn, fucking Drew McIntyre, should be out there doing his thing, and instead it's Seth Rollins and CM Punk again, times 3. Here's more Cody Rhodes, and I like Cody, and he probably deserves to be in there as much as anybody else, but at the same time, they're doing the same shit they did with him last year and the year before. It's like, when are you gonna switch? When are you gonna flip the script? When's something gonna fucking happen that isn't so painfully obvious that it's just ridiculous? And yeah, it's just boring and it's stupid. And if you like it, hey, more power to you. But when people keep going, but they're selling out, They're pre-selling this shit. All right, they're pre-selling the arena tickets. They're giving them away at events. And when you've got events that are empty, you've got events where the crowd's not doing anything, they're standing there playing on their phones all night. This isn't a crowd that's engaging anymore. Even the commenters can't hide it. They can't disguise the fact that the crowd's just not fucking doing anything, right? And the wrestling was always gauged by crowd reaction, which was the right way to do it. Okay, you don't go by what you hear on the internet, from the fucking the smart guys, right? The smart marks. You don't want to hear from them. You don't want to go by what the journalist tells you. You don't want to go by just what creative tells you. You go by the audience reaction, because those are the people paying for the seats to be there. Those are the ones you're catering to, right? Not the loud minorities, not the crazy outliers. You want to appeal to the people that are going to show up to the show and participate. And they're not doing that right now. They're appealing to sponsors, and they're appealing to investors, and they're appealing to themselves mostly, and the wrestling fans want them to appeal to the smart marks, and that's a terrible idea too. You can't just do what a random anonymous fan on the internet tells you to do. That's not going to fix it either. So, I don't think there is a fixing, because whatever they do to try to change things is going to upset sponsors, it's going to upset investors, and that's going to end up hurting the product. So if the only saving WWE would be they have to do the massive sweeping cutbacks. They have to make it a fraction of what it used to be so that it's appealing to sell to someone who's actually going to utilize it for something, right? TKO is never going to do anything with this company. They're just not, So what are you going to do? You got to shrink the roster, you got to shrink the production, and basically just make it a smaller company. And hopefully someone down the road picks it up who is a fan and who's willing to invest money into making it great again. But chances are that's just not going to happen. Chances are it's going to eventually the investors are going to bleed it dry over and over and over again. As long as it's producing some money, they'll just keep finding this cycle, get the Saudi Arabian sponsors lined up and just keep the money churning through like a factory, and then just keep printing the same old boring ass cards, because nobody cares. Nobody's actually watching or paying attention anymore. It's just going through the cycles, going through the motions, It's nowhere near as good as it used to be. You watch an old episode of Raw from the Attitude Era, or even the Ruthless Aggression Era. It's 1,000 times better than what you'll see today on a pay-per-view, nonetheless, of the weekly card, which is just a joke. I'd rather watch simulated matches in these video games than wrestling for the past 10, 15 years, That's how bad it's gotten. So I don't think you're saving the company. I think it's going to have to die on its own, or it's going to have to get taken over by someone else. And I mean taken over. TKO has to sell it. As long as TKO owns it, as long as Saudi Arabia owns it, we're never going to see anything better coming out of it. And it doesn't matter if Triple H is in charge, or if it's Road Dogg, or if it's anybody else. It doesn't matter, because it's going to be the same trash over and over and over again. So it is what it is. And I think we're seeing the waning of the WWE as a company. I think it's going to eventually it's going to get kind of shuttered, and it'll get repackaged, and it really won't be WWE anymore. Somebody else will buy the name and the likeness or whatever. The library will be, probably TKO will keep the library for God knows, for indefinitely, as long as they can make money off it. If they're smart, they'll find a way to make money, because it's a great library to have access to. You've got WWE, WCW, ECW, the old territories there. They've got tons of material they can repackage if they were smart. Unfortunately, the people running TKO are not smart. They don't know what they're sitting on. They're not utilizing it. So it's all going to go to waste. But anyways, that's my take on the situation. I hope you guys found this episode of the podcast interesting. Until next time, this is Grim signing off saying Stay salty.